For centuries, playwrights have conveyed their messages to their audiences through the use of fictional scenarios or characters. This helps them tell a story with realistic undertones that can relate to their own societies. However, this can easily be misinterpreted or completely ignored by some audiences. One man took it upon himself to change the medium of the performing arts. So instead of being full of drama with societal undertones, his pieces were very vocal about political and societal stances. This allowed him to convey his messages with no subtlety. That man was Brecht. Brecht was a theatrical practitioner whose epic theater differed from the conventions of theatrical illusion and forged the drama as a social and ideological platform for leftist reasons. His plays were hugely educated and political. They try to wake the audience, delivering a more intense and vital vision of reality. His dramatic works blatantly condemn fascism, but they also endorse communism as an acceptable form of government. His political views developed from his life experiences. Instead, Brecht attempted to make plays that would force an audience to think critically and uncomfortable about money, power, and ethics. Art is not a mirror with which to reflect reality, but a hammer with which to shape it, he wrote. Epic theater is about waking up an audience, working on their waking brains, and waking them up to the political realities just beyond the playhouse door. The lure is intellectual, not emotional. Epic theater is a kind of political theater that Brecht developed that handles current issues. Brecht believed classical approaches to the theater were escapist, and he was more interested in facts and reality than escapism. Can art influence society's decisions on political issues?
These are yes and no questions. Yes, it can influence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it can do. Like if it's taking the piss out of a politician or something like that. People find it funny.
But it's more than that, though.
Like South Park, you know?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I mean, one day our government can just decide, like, take our freedom of speech, or in one way stop you from sharing something with the world, like, because they might just not like it even, and they decide, okay, we're gonna stop you from sharing that with the world, and your art, it's not acceptable.
No, because you can't censor. Art was censored for a long, long time. You know, like you weren't allowed to paint certain things or certain people or anything like that. And it's kind of hypocritical if you turn around and say that the subject matter of your artwork should be censored, or vice versa. You should just let it be what it is, which is art.
No. Absolutely not, because that's the limit on freedom of speech.
Yeah, you can't censor anything.
You need to be able to say anything about anything.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think it's the greatest freedom at all. Art is the best way to express yourself, but it's not really a freedom, in my opinion, because you are confined, and every artist is confined to something. In my industry, I'm confined to what the client wants. You know, you can't come into a tattoo studio and go, oh, I just want a tattoo and let me do what you want, because you're going to get something you don't want on you. There's no freedom in art whatsoever. You are confined, always.
Yes, absolutely. If you look at China under Mao, loads of musical instruments were destroyed. People didn't have the possibility to create art or music.
Yeah, but at the same time, it does influence the possibility of creating more art, because it gives people more material to go off.
Yeah.
Like if there's something happening because of current events, then people are going to write songs or books or whatever make films about it, aren't they?
Yeah, but at the same time, it does limit it as well.
Yeah.
If you look at North Korea, I don't imagine there's all too many artists or musicians.
Nah, North Korean music's banging.
Yes, because art is about freedom. Everything you do, you're expressing yourself, you're expressing your freedom, you're expressing your art, your point of view, everything. So it is essential for the creation of art itself.
There's always sort of like a herd of sheep that will enforce their political views or likes or dislikes, and mainly now more with social media. Like, if you're not part of the masses, you're shunned to the side and fucked off or bullied or whatever. It's yeah, you're always stifled no matter what you do.
Yeah, definitely, because in each part of the world you go, they have different cultures, and while in some parts of the world we can consider ourselves more advanced, there are other parts that are not as much, if we could go that way. So in one part of the world you can have your freedom of speech and your way of thinking, and then you go to the other side of the world and it's completely different.
For way too long, the politicians and the people in power have gotten away with not doing anything.
You say you love your children above all else, and yet you're stealing their future in front of their very eyes.
Everyone's favourite cool kids TV character, Waldo.
Twitter loves him. We want to see more of Waldo.
We should get Waldo to stand for the by-election.
He has nothing to say.
No one takes you seriously. That's why no one votes.
By encouraging people not to care, you're actively dangerous.
Dangerous? You think the public can't be trusted?
Clearly means nothing to our politicians and our society.
No, yes. It depends, really. If I feel like I need to voice an opinion about something that I see, even if it's satire or not, I will voice it, but it's not all political satire.
I guess it can do. I mean, it gives you a talking point. Something everyone can relate to and discuss.
I think political satire as well is a conversation in itself.
Yes, it's more when you're an artist and you see like political satire, you feel like they're taking your freedom away, and that's something like, as an artist, you need to have your freedom because you need to express yourself with your art. So, like, if it was me and some political would stop me from talking about a certain subject, I would want to talk about it even more, because like it's my freedom and you can't stop me from doing my art or expressing myself towards my art.
Depending on which political direction you pushed it in, yeah, it would work. If you was to push it right wing and wake up their minds to right wing ideologies or Tory ideologies or anything like that, it might be considered taboo. That might be, a taboo subject. Like, in my opinion, when it comes to things like this, as long as you go along with what everyone else thinks and what everyone else believes, you're safe. The second you push to that side where very few people, or people that don't like to be outspoken, say or think, is the second that the masses, and especially online, and online it's everything, they'll start to push, bully, scream, shout until you see things in their perspective. It's I think as long as you are going along with what's considered the norm or what everyone else believes in, it will be safe. But the second you start to stray is the second that you start to get stifled, and the second you get censored and told you can't think that way or be that way.
I think to a certain extent it does. I mean, certainly it would definitely reinforce people's opinions that they already have. If you were talking about that video there, for example, like for example, people will go to watch a show that they already think is, you know, like agreeable to them, and people will enjoy it for that reason. But if you were to make a show to change people's minds, or make a piece of media to change someone's mind, I don't know whether that would work, because people's minds are already made up and very much programmed to see things through a lens. You know, if you were to create a piece of media, two people would have two different perceptions of it, which is.
It was like 1984. Apparently, I mean, don't quote me on this, but apparently it was banned in the US for being communist, and then banned in China for being pro-Western or something. It's, you know, I mean, the point is it was anti-establishment and about establishment getting too involved in people's lives.
Exactly, that's a piece of media being looked at from two different perspectives and being taken two different ways.
And I think that's where the political spectrum can meet. I don't think it's not a line, it's more of a, you know, it's more of a circle, and communism and fascism meet.
Yes, because there's still loads of political issues that people are not aware about, or they don't care, or they can't be bothered to do something about it. So having something to awake those people is definitely essential for today's society.